Then Tesla Volta Game says, hot take, Mario 64 is not a great game. It has not aged well. Levels are weak and the controls are cumbersome. It gets a pass because it was first. All right, so with that, how about we go into the Mario 3D All-Stars collection? A lot of us played it. I'm trying to think, did everyone play it?
I didn't get to. My copy got here late.
Yikes.
Okay.
Yeah, mine still has not physical.
Mine arrived today through Amazon. They didn't get it to me on release day, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. Yeah.
So
You
I
bought it digitally too, just like I did.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I was like, well, I'm leaving the physical one sealed. I'll just leave it sealed.
Same.
So, like,
I thought about doing the same because I was hoping to get mine last night and be able to play it before today. But it's like I personally don't want to own 2 copies of the game. I just want the one I'm going to play, and it's Amazon, so they charged me for it on Thursday. Like that's my copy.
Yep.
So unfortunately, so I'm behind. But I've played all the games 20 years ago. Does that count?
Yeah. So the collection dropped, and a lot of us played it, and it did some videos on it and all of that. So what's everyone think so far about the collection?
It's my favorite cash grab ever.
I gave it an 8 out of 10. I think it's so good. I think Galaxy aged amazingly. I think Sunshine aged surprisingly well. I think the upscaling and widescreen does a lot to make you appreciate Sunshine. And I think that what they did with 64 is kind of a shame. That game could have used some stuff.
Yeah, I would say, that when you look at that one compared to the other two, it's pretty jarring.
Yeah,
to kind of go to
that. Is it the lack of widescreen? Like, what do you guys think?
I would say that's the most jarring thing is the widescreen issue.
That and it's not even full screen actually. If you look, there's actually a tiny centimeter gap at the top and bottom. It looks really weird. I wanted to zoom in my footage. It looks so bad when I'm editing it. I wanted to crop in, but I had to keep it in the original aspect.
It does look significantly better than the original one, even through HDMI. Like the Ultra HDMI compared to it still doesn't stand up well enough. They smoothed a lot of things out in the one in All Stars 3D World. But I mean, as MVG would say, that's already been done with emulation anyway. So it's
right.
Like, it's not that big.
Does it run okay though? Have you run into problems on 64?
It ran fine. It was 30 frames.
It's just the aspect ratio.
It actually runs better. People have tested. There were 4 or 5 places in the original version of Mario 64 where there would be minor slowdown, where there would be so much stuff on screen, like the castle,
the submarine level.
Yes,
that's notorious for really slowing down.
And all of that is 100% liquidy smooth now, which is interesting because it does seem like maybe they did something to the emulator.
And it is, I will say, the C buttons getting remapped to the right stick did not go over well.
It's bad.
Really?
It feels weird as hell.
Because remember, pressing the C button click would turn you through different camera modes, and out of habit you want to bump that and be like, oh, I just want to turn. You end up, it makes like whoop, 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 and it zooms you in and out and stuff. It's really clunky.
It is a little weird with that one.
Yeah, I'm sure because it's right there within reach versus having to reach down for it. I guess.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like I'm not somebody who's been really mad about the lack of major changes to these games, but I will say it would have been pretty cool if in Mario 64 they did something like created a more modern camera with the right analog stick. Like that was a game that really introduced the world to the concept of a camera in a video game. That's why the Lakitu thing was even there, to like translate to the audience the idea of a 3D camera. But obviously we've come so far since then that sounds like something it would have been cool if they went in and actually.
It's also it's also the Shindo pack, Sean.
Yep.
You know what that means, Sean?
Shindo.
Yes.
pack.
No. So long, Bowser.
Yep, it's just bye-bye. He throws it. They got rid of the backwards jump that speedrunners would do to go up steps. That's not in it anymore.
Oh, they did?
That's why it wasn't working. Son of a bitch. I was trying it this afternoon. I'm like, why can't I get this to work? Fuck the Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection. I'm taking down my video. I think I'm burning hell.
Wait,
I didn't realize that.
Which of your 20 videos you're going to take down, Sean? All of them or just the review?
None of them. Fuck that.
Exactly.
I was playing through Galaxy, man. I still feel Galaxy and Galaxy 2 whenever that comes, but Galaxy on this collection to me just shines as the best game on there.
It's the best one on there. Yeah.
It's fantastic. They mapped the spin, so no more little gimmicky motion controls. You can do it if you want to. It's optional. If you want to use the Joy-Cons, you can play it like you played it back 13 years ago or whenever you played it, or you can play it with on the Switch Lite. You can use your finger to collect the star bits. It's just great. Galaxy is it's still
the constant camera resetting is annoying.
It like bounces sometimes. Yeah, you're right.
You have to constantly hit R just to bring it back.
Yeah, and that's a product of just the Wii era. because of how the Wii controller was. I mean, Twilight Princess was the same thing. You couldn't really have a traditional.
Well,
3D
yeah, because
camera
there's
on the
no
Wii.
sensor bar, right? So like you have
Yeah.
to basically kind of tell it to kind of reset.
Yeah, because it's attached to the gyro. So like if you play Dreams, for example, it has something exactly the same where if you end up over here with your cursor by accident, you have to press a button for it to reset to the center of the screen to recalibrate you.
So
I've been playing it mostly Switch Lite, but I did play it a little bit to capture some footage and on the console. All right, so I docked.
I never got to play Galaxy, so I'm very excited to finally get to play it.
It's good. It's very good.
Should I just play it with buttons, or I never got to?
Just use a Pro controller.
Yeah, use a Pro controller.
You'll really enjoy it.
The only thing is, Click, that's a little bit weird is there is some stuff that they could not change. There's these little tiny like collectibles on the screen that are called star shards, and you used to aim your Wiimote. Now it's just part of the motion controls.
Seeing.
There's that, and the other weird thing is all the menus were based on like aiming your Wiimote and clicking. So when you want to save, you actually have to like aim your controller and be like, "I want to save now." It's a little bit weird.
Like motion controls don't bother me, but
if you use the gyro, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do the two Joy-Cons work? Yeah,
I do.
I don't think anyone's. I haven't tried two Joy-Cons.
I did. It doesn't do anything.
I'll probably stream it with motion.
Only the right becomes the primary. So I tried it when I was
recording. Can you use it as a pointer? Like, does it work that way?
No, because the IR is not actually picking anything up. It just it's simulating the original interface via gyro. Because and some of the games require, like when you do the Stingray racing, you actually have to hold.
Yeah, I was thinking of that one.
Yeah. So you just it treats your right Joy-Con as a Wiimote during that.
So what, Nate? Did you get the collection?
No, I didn't get it from Amazon because they delayed my copy till like October 2nd, so I canceled that. Digitally.
Whoa! You and Amazon, you and Amazon have the worst luck. Did you ever get your Animal Crossing copy from them?
No, it says it's in transit. Yeah, it's been in transit since March.
I think Tom Nook stole it, bro. I think Tom Nook got that copy. You got to do something.
I get a refund for it, so I don't care.
What'd you think about the collection, Nate, so far?
Galaxy is still the masterpiece that it was and always has been. Undocked gameplay is a little weird using your finger to get the star bits.
Yeah, because you got to take your hand off the.
Is that the only way? With the touch?
It's a little weird. Yeah,
it's a little weird. Mario 64 is Mario 64. I've only played that for a few minutes. Mostly just been focusing on Galaxy.
Okay. You didn't try Sunshine?
I started Sunshine just to see how much I could hate it, and I played it for about half an hour, and I realized they changed the camera controls and made it worse. So I said, you know what, Sunshine, you still suck, and I'll come back to you eventually.
It does. I will say, I think it looks pretty.
It does look really good.
It looks
good. It looks good. It's nice and clean. The widescreen, you can actually see shit now. Yeah. But now they just invented another problem that wasn't an issue.
So
and you can't even change the camera controls.
Yeah, that's a. Oh, no, go ahead.
That's my biggest issue with the collection is there's no options like at all.
Yeah,
there's like nothing. Like it's you press the minus button to go into the menu, and there's just nothing there.
Yeah, even Galaxy, you have to use the touch screen to go through like the menus because they try to replicate the idea of using the pointer. Like, why can't I just use the analog stick?
My favorite cash grab ever.
It's the one thing I did like though. Did you guys notice how fast it loads from the home screen?
Yeah,
it's very snappy.
It's in like a couple seconds. It is quick.
But I mean, we got to remember the Mario 64 is like a tiny ROM file. The GameCube version is pretty small. I mean, none of these games are big. It gets in size. It's
all right. Debbie Downer. Jeez.
I have a question though.
There's nothing technically, going on to make.
What about those menus, man? Where everything's on one thing and you got to move it over and then it changes the background. That's pretty big.
I meant that like there's no like how like usually you pick a game and there's like this logo comes up, then this logo, then this copyright information. Like they got rid of anything like that could be in the way, and it just immediately plays the little movie, so you go right into the main menu. So like that was a couple seconds from your home screen on the Switch. That's kind of cool. Caught me off guard a little bit with how fast it was.
No, I agree. Well, and also it seems like it's hard for me to remember because I played Mario Galaxy. I played at launch. It's one of the few Mario games I ever bought at launch, so I don't remember it super clearly. But it does seem like everything has less load times, if any at all. It seems like everything was super.
It's pretty quick. Yep. And Galaxy looks good. It almost looks current gen. It's very close. Like could pass as like, oh, Nintendo just released this. So
I think
if
Galaxy was the
game, you can go back and play, no problem now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Galaxy was the game back in the day, you know, because the Wii was standard definition and the HD thing was so new. That was a game you would show your friends who had a 360 to be like, look at how good the graphics on the Wii are. Like, I promise it's really good. Like, Galaxy was that showcase for that, you know? So I can't wait to see it in HD.
Yep. It looks very, very good.
One thing that the Galaxy did prove is that now I understand 100% why Galaxy 2 isn't part of this collection, because Yoshi would have been impossible to control. They would have had to completely rework Yoshi.
You had to use his tongue with a pointer, right? Isn't that what you did? Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, that was going to be my question is, if they are having trouble with the motion controls and incorporating them with the Switch, what would that mean for something like Skyward Sword? Because they've already basically expressed that they're not interested in making that game without motion control.
Let me ask, well, let's MVG
do it.
MVG, they had to split the game up, right? They had some, like the GPU side was emulated, but they had to basically port like the CPU game logic side. Would that have anything to do with all of these motion control changes and all this stuff, you think, that they had to do separate from just visuals, like kind of playing around with the game itself?
Yeah, so I think what they said was the game code, like the logic and everything of the game was all ported, but the GPU and the audio was all emulation. So yeah, John, I think you're onto something. I think that's probably the best way for them to get control on, you know, mapping the Joy-Cons and the buttons and stuff like that.
I almost wonder if they're going to do that same thing for Skyward Sword, if they do it. Like
they might,
get it in a Wii emulator, half Wii emulator, half like game logic port. Ooh, that might be it.
The biggest change, which I feel like it's kind of weird more people aren't talking about it, is the fact that you just press Y for your spin attack now. Used to, you'd have to shake the Wiimote to do your spin attack. So it makes me think, I honestly think they're probably going to do that for Skyward Sword. It's just make like, you can use your Joy-Con if you want, or you can just have a swipe attack.
They had to change
I would highly
but how would you approach
it's a bigger challenge.
enemies where you have to go horizontally?
Bosses too.
All right,
like,
X for vertical, or X for vertical, Y for horizontal.
I think Ayanuma would have like a freak out if they tried to do that.
You're right, Miss
That's
Click,
his
but
baby.
let me live this dream for. Let me pretend that game won't be hot garbage.
A whole separate system to make it work. You'd have to create like the Metal Gear Rising type of deal.
So
that's exactly what I've thought of, OJ. Or was it Revengeance or whatever? Where that had like the, or maybe Rising, I don't know, where you had the dial, right, to choose how you slice. That's exactly what I've pictured.
So my biggest annoyance with this collection is that there is nothing else to it. Like it is very bare bones. There's no.
It has music.
There's no vault. There's no behind the scenes. There's no concept art. Nothing.
But it has music.
I mean, listen. I mean, I feel like 5 months ago, people were like, I'll lick the bottom of a shoe just to get these games playable on the Switch. And now all of a sudden it's like, we haven't. People are like, okay, but where's everything else?
True. Yeah.
Okay. First and foremost, okay, Miss Click.
I mean, that wasn't me.
Only people on your Twitter talking about licking feet and boots. But additionally, I do wish that there was something a little bit more. Having played so many hours of these now and appreciating what they've done, I do just wish we had some extra spice on the taco.
I agree. I think if you look at something like Rare Replay, which was what, $30?
That's a good point. Yeah, Rare Replay. Yeah,
that's a great collection.
If you take a look at that and the way that they've presented that and what they offer, I feel like the All Stars collection could have been a little more than what they gave us.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that like free content on the side too, though. They did that with Zelda. Like Breath of the Wild, they did all like the behind the scenes making of, like those were all separate editions. Yeah, with other additional content.
I feel like it could have been cool just to add into this, just as like an extra, like a vault seat, like, you know.
I get you. I think it'd be cool to have like the booklet in there. I think the booklet would have been cool. You know, just kind of like a blast from the past.
Put a slip cover on this thing.
I could appreciate that.
You know, I don't ask for much, but if the logo had been in the center of the cart, I would definitely give it an extra point in my review.
Yeah, I think that they
I think it's cool. You know, let's get the first one out of the way, and then next year when they do the Zelda collection, it'll be a lot better.
No. Okay, come on. If they do this with the Zelda collection, I mean,
yeah, but they'll make it better because they have so much more time.
It's got to be better, right?
They've got the emulator now, right? So they've got between now and then to get it ready. So
come on, put the extra content in there. Put like the behind the scenes stuff in there. Put a cool slipper. Make a collector's edition alongside of a Zelda themed Switch.
So honestly,
I'm telling you.
Honestly, I'd be very surprised if they give Zelda better treatment than Mario, because I feel like Zelda's always kind of been like the stepchild compared to Mario. You know what I mean? Like Like, let's be honest. Like, even like Super Nintendo, like the Nintendo World Park, like it's really Mario.
I don't know about that because let's look at Zelda and what Breath of the Wild got.
But you can't say that because that was a launch title. You know what I mean? Like that was a launch, and that was the first time for Zelda. That was like the first time.
Wait, hold on, no. You can even go back to the GameCube and all the cool stuff that they did with the Zelda collection of games, like the special editions. You have like Ocarina of Time, the Master Quest. You have like the different.
Well, yeah, because you had. Well, you
had all these different cool like hold up here. You had a special exclusive only Nintendo. What was it? Nintendo DS Zelda Anniversary type of game. Yeah, they have all sorts of stuff that they've done for Zelda. There was like a satellite view.
She doesn't want to get her hopes up.
I'm not getting my hopes up, dude. I'd be very surprised. But dude, Mario has always sold more than Zelda, though.
It has.
Mario is always
franchise.
They've done some great things for Zelda over the. Look at the gold freaking Wii remote with the 25th anniversary.
I got it. Yeah, that's what my
Skyward,
yeah, Skyward Sword. I mean, I don't see any golden Mario remote, you know.
But they did do a Mario. Nintendo Switch.
Let's be honest.
GoldenEye got a Pro controller. GoldenEye got a golden.
Okay, we're not talking about GoldenEye. Listen here, sir. Listen, Mario's just always for a very long time. It's only been over the last, like, I want to say, like 4 or 5 years that Zelda's even really had merch, like official merch out. Like, I think there were a couple things back during Skyward Sword, like when the remote control came out, like that was a huge deal, and I got that ASAP. But like, there were very few things that you could get that were Zelda themed. I feel like there was a lot more Mario stuff. I think now it's nice where they can level it out. Like now you go to Walmart and there's like 4 or 5 Zelda themed things. So I'm really glad that it's brought it back on the map.
I bought a Majora's Mask Nintendo 3DS, which was awesome, you know? So
well, yeah, I think honestly they kind of needed that to do that for the 3D launches, because that's a big deal, you know, like you're kind of facelifting these legendary games. So I feel like
I agree.
Why not?
I think the point you were making, Spawn, was that now that the emulator is built, the hard part is done. It is just a matter of adapting it. They could actually spend, since now it's probably going to be 6 months till we get that. Maybe in March is when they announce the Zelda collection. Maybe they would have time to actually put some art in there or something. Yeah.
I feel like the Zelda crowd is a bit more, I'd say, quote unquote, hardcore.
Definitely.
So they would.
Just the nature of the
That's why I think they might do it. That's one of the reasons.
Ridiculous $200 collector's edition.
Yes, we would.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I'm saying, even me I consider myself more. I've beaten every Zelda game, but I consider myself more casual. Even I would pay $80 or $100 for something, even if it had a little bit of extra stuff.
People did. I remember like Breath of the Wild sold more copies than actual Switch systems.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So everyone.
Yeah, what a weird time that was.
Yeah, everyone was buying the collector's edition. Buying multiple copies of the game because there were so many different, there's so many different collector's editions, So.
Yeah, it had like 150% attach rate or something crazy. It was like
just look. Okay, I'll give him a pass on this 3D All-Star stuff if next year they give us a ridiculous Zelda's collector's edition.
So here's the thing with Mario though. I think with Mario,
what's that name?
I wouldn't anticipate a ridiculous Zelda collection.
Okay, can we get one that has any type of concept art in it?
Well, we've had books. We've already had books and everything, dude. I'm gonna get something off of my shelf.
Celebrate. I like that. See, Sean's saying celebrate.
Was it Hyrule Historia? They're gonna say go buy Hyrule Historia and call it a day.
I gotta leave the game to learn more about this. Is it Destiny?
Oh my gosh, she's read multiple books.
My turn.
I do appreciate some good show and tell.
I have at least 3, and there's at least 3 more, right? I have this baby. I love a favorite.
Oh, hell yeah.
Might have recognized from my logo. I inspired it from that. And then you have creating a champion. Really? Yeah, that's where my logo's inspired. Not my logo, like my concept art. And then create a champion, which is awesome. And then obviously Hyrule Historia. Dude, I got 3 of these for the same Christmas. I had 3 separate friends. And just launched.
Well, you have 3 hard to find for a while.
But then you have encyclopedia. I have 3 friends.
The only person that gives me a Christmas present is freaking John. Like, this is like not John.
Wait,
John's the only person.
Well, let me ask you this. A lot of people, if they're selling all that extra merch, right? A lot of people will buy these collections at times, maybe if they're a little younger or they weren't really into the series. Wouldn't it be smart if it's their first time in to show them some behind the scenes stuff, to show them some lore about the game outside of the game, to get them into buying stuff like that outside of it, to make
you actually get the photo with it. Little babies.
I guess the question now is what games are going to get. Do you think we'll get more than 3, or do you think it'll be 3 again? Do you think it's going to be Wind Waker, Skyward Sword, and Twilight Princess?
They'll probably give us the original 2 NES games or something like that on there just to do it, and then
it already exists. They're on the NES. Yeah,
they'll put it on a cart. The NES Online is the.
You're already paying for them.
Yeah,
but your online subscription, you'll get Twilight Princess, Wind Waker.
They'll get them physical.
Wii U, and then you'll get a reworked Skyward Sword HD with reworked controls.
All
and then
in
you'll
one
get Breath of the Wild 2 in 2020. No, Skyward Sword will probably be a standalone release. The other 2 will be a dual pack, and then you'll end the year with Breath of the Wild 2.
No Ocarina?
I think they could do an Ocarina Majora dual pack. That could be cool.
We don't need Majora, but Ocarina.
They're never going to bring. Majora's
think...
Mask is the most forgotten Zelda of all time, but I love the idea of it.
Majora's Mask
great
is
game.
such a huge cult following. Are you kidding me?
Cult
Everybody's
following.
like, if you don't like Majora's Mask, I'll slit your
Cult
throat.
following by definition means small but dedicated fan base.
So you think Ocarina?
Okay.
Make sure you get it good.
The only dual pack that matters is Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks.
Spirit Tracks.
Yeah, blow on the microphone.
I will unironically. I love Phantom Hourglass. I will unironically defend it.
Same here. Thank you. It's a good game, man.
It's
It gets
my
a lot of
favorite
crap.
Zelda
It's
game.
a good game.
So
Okay,
you think
I want to go that far.
No,
you think
that's the best one,
Ocarina,
actually.
Wind Waker, Twilight Princess in one pack, Nate? That sound right?
No.
Do that.
No.
I think there's going to be Volume 1, Volume 2. The first volume is going to be Ocarina and Majora's Mask.
Ocarina?
And then the second one will be, I don't know.
In Australia, they're going to put an extra R in that word. Ocarina is going to be the collector's edition.
That's how you say it.
You wash your hands?
I like the idea of bringing like the Satellaview Zelda over for the online. That would be cool.
The CDI
Do you guys think
Zelda.
No, the
I
Satellaview.
can't even get Sonange Bowser in my Mario 64. I'm not going to hold my breath for that.
It's a Zelda they never brought out.
Satellaview one. Oh god.
Oh, yeah.
game.
I'm with you.
I think Misfit died.
I heard